Republicans in House of Representatives approved a $14.3 billion aid package for Israel on Thursday, setting stage for a bitter showdown with Democrats in Senate and White House who accuse GOP bill of excluding Ukraine funds and hacking into IRS coffers. The vote, 226,196, was almost entirely along party lines. 12 Democrats joined all but 2 Republicans to advance the bill the lower chamber. Democrats' opposition extends to the Senate, where Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced early Thursday that his chamber would not accept the deeply flawed proposal. Instead, he pledged to work with senators from both parties on a package that includes funding for Israel and Ukraine, competition with the Chinese government, and humanitarian aid to Gaza. The Biden administration has threatened to veto the House bill, arguing in a statement that it is bad for Israel, the Middle East region, and our own national security. The vote, however, is a 3-week battle to replace former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy last month. The relief package was Johnson's first major legislative effort as Speaker of the House, and it provided a preview of how Johnson, mild-mannered Louisiana lawmaker who quickly ascended to House Speaker amid GOP chaos, plans to guide House through a series of legislative changes in coming weeks and months. Johnson's decision to isolate Israeli financing and combine it with IRS cuts became an olive branch for conservatives wary of deficits and overseas spending, unifying nearly the entire conference. Reps. Thomas Masssie and Marjorie Taylor Greene were only Republicans to oppose the measure, citing concerns about U.S. interference in foreign affairs and cost to American taxpayers. But GOP's tactics have also complicated to getting Israeli aid to Biden's desk, pushing Senate down its own strategic path and raising new questions about how feuding chambers will find that. The compromise was reached almost a month after Hamas' deadly attacks. Even Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has emphasized bicameral division, has been lukewarm to the House legislation, advocating instead for combining Israeli and Ukraine aid into a single package. Johnson told the House on Thursday that Ukraine aid will come next and reiterated that he wants to match funding for Kiev with U.S. border security. President Biden is pushing a much larger $106 billion emergency aid package from the White House that would fund Israel, Ukraine, border security and allies in the Indo-Pacific. But growing GOP resistance funding for Kiev and opposition to tying together support for 2 U.S. allies-led GOP leaders break up the package and introduce Israeli aid as a standalone bill. Johnson warned GOP senators this week that a larger package would not pass the lower chamber. House Republicans' measure matches $14.3 billion in foreign aid with the same amount of cuts to IRS funding approved last year in Democrats' landmark spending bill called the Inflation Reduction Act.